We are in the heart of the Gulch. My name is Tony Mendoza, your host, and as you can see, we're not in the studio today. We're at the MMC, the Music City Center here in CMA Fest 2025. We got my friend in the building, MŌRIAH. What's going on?
Hey, Steve Antonio Mendoza.
Hey, you know too much about me. You know my legal name.
It's a beautiful name.
The only person that calls me Antonio is my mom when she gets angry at me. She said, Antonio! And I'm like, I get nervous, I'm gonna get the chancla.
But I like the acronym, the SAM, like
Sam.
Technically, I could just call you Sam.
Well, you know what's funny?
So many options.
When I was single, and when I would go to places like LA or Las Vegas or something, I would go by Sam. So people wouldn't know who I was.
Is that your hoochie name?
Is that what it's called?
That's your hoochie
Hey,
name.
man, I guess so. Now, wow, we went off on a tangent already. So first of all, how you doing? You just got off stage.
I am so thankful. I'm very here right now. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes things can get busy and you're bopping around and it's hard to be grounded in the moment. But I think it's one of my greatest strengths is being present.
It's important because a lot of times when we talk about building in relationships, making songs, it's hard to be present because you have to make music that is present to you inside, right? So talk to me about those times when you find yourself not being present. What are those times when you're not being present? You're just out and about and you're just living through the motions.
Sam, great question. I have some tools. I have really practical tools to ground myself in the present moment. I don't know if you've ever gotten super in your own thoughts, in your own head. There's something called future tripping, right? You can be driving your car, but you're thinking about your performance or your interview tomorrow, and you're picturing all of your mics going down, all your samples stop working, the lights stop working. You do an hour-long interview, the cameras were never rolling. You start picturing that stuff, and you can imagine it. And the more creative you are, the easier it is to picture the detail. So it gets very heady. And in those moments, I do things like breathing exercises. I look at my palms. This is the weirdest thing, but I had one therapy session one time where my therapist was like, look at your palms. And I was like, oh my God, I'm a human being, flesh and blood. I need sleep, I need water. It hit me all at once.
Wow, I never looked at it like looking at the palm.
Look at your palm. Next time you're stressing, look at your palm.
Wow, that's some deep knowledge right there.
I know.
Well, talk to me about just when you're going through that process, right? Looking through your palm, finding yourself in your music.
Yeah.
What would be the best song in your whole discography of finding yourself in music?
Probably the song that I just sung on stage. It's actually unreleased. And I'm
trying to get it out of you. You gonna give me the title?
No.
Okay.
Fine. Pero I will give it to you once we have a release date for it. Because it's not going to be on my EP that's coming out October 3rd. But
that
it's
deserves an applause.
Thank you. October 3rd, the day after my birthday. But I wrote it about 5 years ago. And at the time, I was playing a lot of concerts in churches across America. And so I'd go out and sing, a gospel song. And then I would go backstage and I would write what I was desperate to write about. My story, my songs, what I was really thinking about. And this song just poured out of me. And it's about my family. And it's about how my grandfather was an alcoholic and how my dad broke that cycle and raised me right and taught me what it was like to be treated well and be prioritized. And he showed me that in his marriage to my mom. And I just wanted to tell that story and kind of capture the heartbreak of it. And I don't know, when I'm writing songs like that, it's an overflow. I'm not anywhere else. I'm not thinking about anything else. I'm just, it's like a diary entry, I guess.
Well, that's very powerful. And one thing I've known for a long time is that the Latino community stays together. We truly do. I have
travel in packs.
Yeah. No. Well, how big is your family? Because
it's a little intimidating.
Well, let's see. So my mom is the oldest of 9. My dad is the youngest of 11.
Okay.
What about you?
So both my parents are the oldest. My mom, the oldest of 4. My dad, the oldest of 5. But the thing is with my family on both sides is my husband, for example, he's an immigrant. He's from Australia. And the first family party I brought him to, I kept introducing him. I'm like, this is my cousin Janelle, my cousin Selena, my cousin Santana, my cousin Miranda. And he's like, how many cousins do you have? And I'm like, oh, like 50. And he's like, how is that like humanly possible? And I started explaining all the bloodlines and the marriages. And he was like, no, that's your second cousin, your third cousin. I'm like, Joel, ain't nobody here saying second cousin, third cousin, tracking the genealogy. We all grew up together. We're all cousins.
That's primo. That's it.
That's it. That's
now,
all it is.
The thing is, though, when you come from a Latino family, they come in waves. You become part of a wave of families, which is so dope because, like, I think about it. Now, I think my family on my dad's side is on the fifth wave. Right. So me, we're having kids. Yeah. And then it's scary to think that the person that had a kid's like 16 years old.
Yes.
And if we're not in a smart situation, we could be in 6 down the line. But it's
smart situation.
But what's really incredible about that is the community about it. I think that's what I love about my heritage.
Yeah.
And I think about Nashville. And Nashville, I don't know if I want to get that deep, but when
I'll go there with you. Don't you worry.
I never knew, from San Antonio, Texas, growing up with nothing but Latinos around me, I didn't understand what division was.
Yes.
I moved to Nashville, Tennessee, and that's when I learned what division was. Because I didn't realize that, you have two different people, two different types of mindsets in this town, and it's the South.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, though, the Latino community here isn't the biggest community, but boy, do we really show up for each other.
We do.
Who's some of your favorite folks inside the Latino community here?
Oh my gosh, there's so many. Jackie Marushka, she's a publicist, and I met her when I was 17. And to this day, she has been by my side, Latina woman championing the bridge between country and Hispanic communities. Tessa, she runs Tennessee Justice for Our Neighbors.
Tessa.
Oh my gosh, so great.
Love Tessa.
I mean, my father used to be a judge, and so he's done like pro bono work, just helping anybody go through the immigration process or anybody that needs help on the legal side. My mom's done translating. Maureen Aguilar. You might not know her, but on Instagram, she's Profesora Aguilar, and she is a teacher. And she actually is taking my song Sombrero, and she is taking it to her students, and she's helping them create a sombrero that tells their story and tells their family's story. And so there's so many people who are just doing so much great work behind the scenes.
Yes.
And what's cool is that as an artist, I get to kind of go out front and say, this is what we're doing through art, but the art cannot exist, the art cannot go if it's not for the support of everybody else doing their part in every pocket of this community.
Just like a Latino family.
Yeah, it's true.
You can't raise a kid without having the tias and tios all helping along.
So true.
Now,
so true.
I want to ask more about the music side of things because I want to know in your music specifically, how important is it to put that heritage in the work, in the country music? Because that's something, country music's known for a very, a different type of audience.
Yeah.
But it's super important that we put our heritage in that music and package it in a million ways. So how are you doing that in your music?
Well, I think this actually has more to do with your last statement. This idea of the division, right? Because growing up in Southern California, similarly to San Antonio, like you're just a part of this group of minorities that are all together in one place. Like the high school that I went to, it almost felt like it was equal amounts of every single color and religion and ethnicity. Like it was just a total melting pot. And that was different when I first moved to Tennessee. I felt like things were a bit more separated. But you know what I've really come to love and appreciate is growing up, being one of many Latinas in my community, I never knew how special our heritage was. it was the same thing as the weather, right? Every day in LA is like 75 and sunny. Oh my God, 78 and sunny. It's like, okay, every day is the same weather. And so I never appreciated how perfect that weather was until I came out here, and I'm like dying in the winter with a sun lamp and a heated blanket and praying to God that I don't get depressed. Like now I'm like, oh my God, the weather's amazing. Same thing. It's like now that I'm here, and I find myself in so many rooms where I am the only one, right? Or like you're the only fill in the blank, right? I so much more appreciate where I come from, the culture and the color that I get to add to a room. You know, I find that so many people in this town are so kind and inquisitive and curious. Like, it's not like, for the most part, this division is an intentional defense mechanism. It's just a not knowing and not growing up with that. And so I feel a sense of like joy and responsibility when it comes to finding myself in rooms where I get to share a little bit about where I come from and some of the traditions. Like, I mean, my husband's birthday was a couple days ago, and we sung Happy Birthday, and then we sung the Australian Happy Birthday song, and then we sang Estas son las mañanitas. I was like, by the time we have kids, they're gonna have 3 birthday songs. And they better be patient. They better sit there and they better wait.
You know what? See, this has definitely been my favorite interview of the day because...
Best for last?
The best for last, because you are the last
Sammy.
interview for... It's crazy. But I do have to play a game with you, no matter what. Right there is a spin the wheel game.
Spin the wheel.
We're going to do 2 spin the wheels here while we still got some time.
Okay, do I hold it?
You hold it and let me hold the mic while you spin it.
Okay.
All right, go ahead. Ooh, favorite gig story and why?
Favorite gig story? Oh, man. Okay, this is how you know you've done therapy and healed from your trauma. Because this is a tragic story, but now I look back and I laugh. My very first performance ever. I mean, this is like the only things I'd done before was like singing the national anthem at chili cook-offs or graduation ceremonies in Chino, California, and then moved to Tennessee, create a whole album, and for the first time I am singing these songs with a full band and my entire label, right? My parents are there. I was so nervous, and I had lost my voice that morning. Like, I woke up and I didn't have a voice. I was that nervous, and I was so nervous that right before I sung, I was like, I'm just going to open my mouth and just pray something comes out. Well, be careful what you pray for, because you know what came out?
What?
I peed.
You peed?
I peed my pants. Sam.
Wow.
Sam, Tony, I peed my pants. Thank God I was actually wearing a dress. So it came down, and it like you couldn't see it on the dress. Like, this is the one time that being a female and peeing is convenient. I was wearing a dress so you couldn't see it, and it was just puddling by my ankles. And that was the very first thing that happened. And I did the whole show just pit-pattering in my own pee. Just dancing, singing my songs. And I got to the end and I'm like, you know, if anybody saw that, I apologize for that experience. I never told anybody. This is actually the first time I've talked about this in an interview.
Wow.
So this might be the last as well. So let's really just cherish this moment together.
Well, you know what? I'm with you in spirit, because that is something that, you know, look, but when I asked that question, there's been everything. There's been wardrobes malfunctionings. There's been forgetting the lyrics. There's been falling off stages.
Yeah.
Literally everything has happened. Now, obviously, and there has been the other end of that too. Not pee.
Okay.
And so you're not alone
you
there.
You said not pee.
So there's definitely situations that happen. But one more. Let's do one more. And
Okay.
I love the boots, by the way.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Miranda Lambert. Idlewind. So sweet. Okay.
All right.
You got it? I can do it.
All right,
It's a
let's do it.
multitask. Here we go.
Good spin.
I know. I was kind of aggressive on that one.
Dream collab, dead or alive?
Oof. Okay. If
I
it's
want one of each.
I was gonna say. I was actually gonna say male and female. Male dream collab, Karim Leon. I actually just did.
We just saw him last night.
You're kidding.
Yes, we did.
Did he crush it?
Yeah, and you know, wow. Are we gonna go there?
We're gonna go there.
We're gonna go there. All right. So, playing an all Spanish set.
Yeah.
In Spotify House.
It's insane. I can't believe that.
We had this conversation. We were thinking about Selena.
Yeah.
When Selena had to play Mexico, and no one there was, you got to be so nervous in that situation. Playing a set full in Spanish for country music in the Spotify house.
Yeah.
When there was just, who was there before him? Brothers Osborne, and everyone is chanting the lyrics.
Yeah.
You know how powerful that is for a man to do that?
It gives me chills. It actually gives me chills.
And it's why, and you know what? And I was telling Sabrina this. I wish he never did covers. He did 2 covers where he was speaking English.
Yeah.
That wasn't, in my opinion. Look, if you're gonna go at him full Spanish. Who cares if they don't say it?
You should call his people. You know what, Sam? Put in a comment card. Tell them.
It's crazy, but yes. So keep going to what you're saying. I'm so sorry.
No, I'm so glad you said that because I agree. I think he's really brave and really bold, and he's just being himself. And he's with his people, and he's with his family. And my family on my dad's side comes from the same kind of part of Mexico, and so I'm a fan of what he's doing as a musician, but I'm even a bigger fan of who he is as a person and his heart and how he prioritizes his family. And at some point, if we ever sung together, it would be magical.
I can totally see you guys doing that, and that's something you guys should do because it's you should have seen his band. His band.
Oh yeah,
looked
they're
like where are we at?
Great.
So it was now
we love that.
Now dead.
Selena.
Come on.
Yeah.
Wait, favorite Selena song?
Maybe El Chico en Apartamento 512. Either that
Apartment
or
512 is fire.
Amor Prohibido. Like there's this.
That's my favorite. Mine is
so
Forbidden
beautiful.
Love.
It's so
because
beautiful.
It's gorgeous, but you know the one.
And then her English songs too. I mean.
She died too soon.
I used to sing that song on my roof at my house in Chino as a little girl. I would pop out the screen and my parents would get so pissed. Quit doing that, MŌRIAH. You're not supposed to get on that roof. It's going to fall through. It's not made for people like you. You can't support it. And I would like pop it out in the middle of the night and I'd be like looking up at the stars. 'Cause I'm dreaming of you tonight. And I thought maybe, just maybe, my future husband is thinking of me too till tomorrow. I don't know if that ever happened, but my husband's a little romantic, so maybe he was too.
It's I can never think of is Dreaming of You. Which one is Dreaming of You? I can never sing that song. That song brings me to so sadness because it in the movie. That's the last song you hear, and it kills me. So whenever I hear Dreaming of You, I think of people that have passed. But I can't hold you here forever. So I got to ask you my last 2 questions here.
Okay, I'm ready.
And my last question has to do with imposter syndrome.
Okay.
There's times where you don't wake out of bed and feeling hot. There's times that you're in rooms and you may be the only person of your color. And you feel that imposter syndrome being in that room. What do you say, and what are the mechanisms to keep you going every single day and not letting that affect you?
Oh, it's such a good question because I think we all have felt that from the top to the bottom. Honestly, it doesn't matter what seat you're in. If you're an executive, if you own your own business, if you're working a 9 to 5, if you're working in the medical field, in the military, it's like all of us have felt like I can't do this. I don't belong here. I'm a fool. I'm silly. This is ridiculous. All of those things. And to be honest, I felt some of those things a couple hours ago, right before my set at the Hard Rock stage. And you gotta understand, this is so new to me. I only started sharing my music, this Latin country project, last fall. This is so new. This is my first CMA Fest. I was so, I was just doubting myself a lot on the shuttle ride to the stage. And you know what I was telling myself? To try to lift my spirit out of self-preservation mode into connection and super play. Because that's what I want to do on a stage. I want to be in super play mode. I kept telling myself, I am a small part of something so much bigger. Expand, expand, expand. Every time I feel small, every time I feel like I'm an idiot, I shouldn't be here, it's like, I am a part of something so much bigger. It's not even about me. I get to be a part of a conversation where we are bringing people together. We are bringing stories to the forefront. We are uniting people. You know, we are representing a culture and a world that I never asked to be born this way. I wasn't asked to be born into the family that I was born into. I just was. So I haven't earned this. I'm just here, and I'm going to keep showing up because there is a bigger narrative. There's a bigger story at large that we get to be a part of if we just show up and we don't give up.
I love that. Well, my last question. It is 2025. We're filming this in the middle of CMA Fest. Doesn't feel like CMA Fest right now in here, but it feels amazing to be with you. But I want to know, what can we expect the rest of this year and the top of 2026?
Ooh, buckle up. So I just confirmed doing my first Western. I'm an actress as well. I don't know if you knew this, Sam. I do a little bit of...
I did.
And I am going to be in a movie called Flint, starring Josh Holloway. His next film is reconnecting with J.J. Abrams again from Lost. And it's a period piece. It's based on a novel. And we're filming in Montana. And I leave in 2 weeks to go film that. And I'm so excited. I will probably be inspired by the Montana landscape, and we'll write a whole bunch of songs. I'll come back and I'll release a song called Superwoman, and then in Spanish, Supermujer. And then I will release a song called On the Off Chance, and then I'll also release that in Spanish. And then I'll tie it all up on October 3rd, the day after my birthday. Nice Life, the EP drops. All these songs will be on there. We're going to do a beautiful music video for it back in El Paso, where my family is from. And I just can't wait to get all of this to people, because when I put music into the world, I want it to have hope, and I want it to give hope and carry that hope home for people. Like, I want people to be able to listen to this in their car and in their rooms and feel like they're seen, especially if they've felt unseen, obscure, in the corner. I want to put a spotlight on those people.
Oh, I love that. Well, hey, I'm excited for the music. I'm excited to finally meet you. I feel like I made a friend immediately.
Yes.
And look, this is it. This is it. We finished CMA Fest 2025 I'm so happy to end it with you.
We're going out with a bang.
Yes,
and I am so thankful that you took this interview last with me, to your whole team, to the heart of the Gulch. This is the neighborhood I would live in if I didn't live in Franklin, by the way. Love the Gulch.
Too noisy.
Too noisy. But I like the people. I like the noise. Little angel wings on the wall. Tony, a.k.a. Sam. Hoochie name. I will never forget you. Thank you so much.
Well, you know, my name is Tony Mendoza, a.k.a. Steve Antonio Mendoza.
Hey!
And I will see you guys next time. See y'all later. That was a great interview.
Oh, it's so fun, you guys. Gosh, it's so refreshing to be asked great questions. Like thoughtful. Ah! Who are you talking to?
Let's do a photo. Let's do
it.